Right, strap yourselves in. Today we've got a couple of here we goes from Romano. We'll talk about these targets, whether it's a striker or a winger, what's going on with Nico Williams. I'll show you, and I apologise in advance, the next season's home kit. And we can talk about the squad in general moving forward. A little bit of chat between you and I, man. So, yes.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Welcome on back, guys. How's it going? How are you doing? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. Yes, I'm in a vest. I caught some hate from you guys. I was catching strays, as the streets say. And as you can tell, I am, if nothing else, I'm very street. Yeah, I'll tell you why I'm in my vest, mate, because I'm sitting in my little stuffy office with some studio lights on me, and I'm sweating my ruddy gonads off, mate. And I want to be comfortable while I talk to you, my friend. So, don't worry, come winter, I'll have a jumper on. So welcome to Football Therapy. If you want to support the content, it's easy, mate. Just drop a like on the video, it's very kind of you. Why wouldn't you want to help me out, eh? Poor old me. Thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing. If you do choose to subscribe, hit the bell. And let's get into it. Alright, I'm going to start with something horrendous. Trigger warning! Footy headlines does not miss, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Look, this is... This is Chelsea's home kit for next season. It's probably better if I make that smaller. What did I put over there? Now, look, I'd like to reference... I often share on my social media on Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram, @FootballYannick, I often share like these great concept kits that these designers make. Chelsea fans, or indeed just football fans, they make concept kits, and you get really cool Chelsea ones, don't you? You get like Jordan ones. I know we're not going to have Jordan as a kit manufacturer now, but you see great ones, and then the reality from the actual manufacturer, Nike, is usually a horror show. So look at it, breathe it in. It's got like not tie-dye but like wiggly lines on. To be honest, I don't mind the orange trim too much on the Chelsea badge. It's a little bit of a different accent. I think we've had orange before historically. I don't like it on the Nike tick. Obviously this picture's cropped here on the right hand side, so, and it's very unforgiving when you just see a shirt thrown on a surface like that and you can't see it on a player. 100%, always the fact, always the case is, as soon as you see that on a footballer, on the athletes with a vaporwave and it's fitted and, you know, they're shaped well, it looks infinitely better. Obviously hasn't got a sponsor on this one because Chelsea are undecided or unfinalised a sponsor. Look, man, again, they always look better in reality than they do when the official leaks come out from footy headlines. I have bought from the last campaign, I bought the first kit. I was largely excited because we had the opportunity to buy kits of our sponsor, which I thought was dope. But the first kit, the third kit had like different blue, and I got the Trivago training kit as well. I won't be buying this. I'm sorry. Maybe it looks dope when you see like the kit launch and it's on the players. And I don't know. To be honest, even if it looks a lot better, I just don't have a lure. I just don't want that. In fact, let's get it off the screen. Let's get rid of that ting. Alright, mate, let me know what you think of that. Like, because I don't want to lead the witness here, because that's not what this channel is about. I just tell you my opinions, and I always welcome people disagreeing with me or explaining how I'm factually wrong. I'm just a guy with opinions. You know, football's a game of opinions. But I think that show is pretty horrific. I won't be buying it. Let me know what you think, man. Comment down below. Alright, mate. So we got a couple of here we goes. We do. We got Ian Martin, of course. He's completed his medical. He completed it with the Dutch national team camp, and all details of the contract have been agreed. Tweets Fabrizio Romano. He'll sign a 6-year deal at Villa until 2030. Chelsea will receive. So this is a fixed fee. It looks like £37.5 million. And of course, Amari Kellyman joins Chelsea in a separate deal. We've spoken about this a few videos ago. how I think there is a agreement here between the clubs of inflating academy product values and doing straight cash deals for the purposes of PSR. Now, Daniel Story did a story on this. Daniel Story wrote a piece on this. And basically it was hella negative about it. I get it, like the optics aren't great for like the football fans of purity, but I also get it as a, I think if you spoke to Mr. Story, Daniel Story, who's a great journalist, and said, look, would you say the people who have done this, who are hired by their respective institutions, the financial people, would you say them doing this represents them doing their job well? And in fact, it would be a dereliction of duty almost to not do it. He'd probably say, yeah. So there is that, firstly. And the truth is, the rules would probably change. I saw someone comment on his response, like, yeah, but they'll always find the next loopholes. What are you talking about here, bro? Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, so what? So it's not just football, it's every walk of life. Every business, in the building, in the office, they find a way to get ahead. Everyone who's got an accountant. What are the accountant's job? It's to find ways to optimize your revenue. I won't say any more than that. But you know what I mean? It's just people in life, in work, doing their jobs. I get it. We all want this footballing utopia where there's no dodgy finances. Like, no one wants anyone to cheat and break the rules, and that's what Man City are allegedly being investigated for, right? But that's one thing. But to try and optimize within the rules is another thing. You're not going to live in this frigging football utopia where everyone just is really lovely and you only play academy players and, everyone plays for some sort of communist salary. Everyone gets the same and and everyone loves the badge and everyone goes with their grandparents and parents and it's all lovely. That's great. It's just not like that, and I think it's I understand for him to write an article highlighting the optics of it, but let's be big boys about this. Do you know what I mean? Let's move on. Alright, speaking of a here we go, there's another one, of course, in Amari Kellyman. Now, many of you guys on my socials here on YouTube have been like, WTF, Jan, we've dropped £19 million on a kid who's played, 4 senior appearances, which is a lot, but remember, we are in the age where 60 million euros gets you a 16-year-old Brazilian for Endrick, and however much we've paid for Esteval. This is where we're at now. This is what the market is saying. I do personally think, I mean, I'm speculating here, and I'm guessing, be very careful, that there is an inflated value here. A bit like Martin, maybe. That's what that's what the streets are saying, man. That ain't me. Well, it is me as well. But he's a good player. I get it. The thing is, right, everyone's like, but we've got Datro Fofana and David Washington and whatever, and we've got a couple of great academy strikers as well. We do, genuinely, the development squad. It would be remiss for me not to say that, right? Because it's true. But the truth is, maybe this kid's supposed to be good as well. I'm never gonna be angry about buying good players on deals that won't financially rinse the club. He's not gonna be on some mega high contract, you know what I mean? And we'll speak about high contracts in a moment on Nico Williams, we've had conflicting reports regarding Chelsea. So I ain't gonna be mad at it. Look, as long as the main thing for me is the players that are within Chelsea's setup. And I'm thinking, just all of the friggin' players actually know what's going on. I mean, he signed a deal. He's got advisors. He's got his family. It's not like we've stolen these children in a bag and been like, hey, you play for Chelsea now. We've got you for 7 years. No, we're pitching to them and they're agreeing to what we're saying, and it's up to them to decide, is this the best for me? Am I going to play? Am I not going to play? Is it actually good for my development and just financial security because they'll put me on good loans while ensuring I get paid a good salary? It's just dumb it's just so juvenile to be to think anything otherwise. It's people agreeing to do things. No one's doing anything against their will, and ultimately it's good players coming. So as long as Amari Kellyman knows what's going on. He obviously does. He'll have his family and advisors that have made him sign this deal. Chelsea first teamers, whether it's a Nico Jackson, whether it's another striker we bring in. Of course, this morning we spoke about Jonathan David. Go watch that video if you get to watch it. Everyone knows what's going on. Of course, they look at Chelsea and they might think, what is going on? But, people are professionals. They're big boys. They can make their own decision. So apparently this kid's good. Let's wait and see. He might be a development squad thing, but he's already played first team football for Villa. So I mean, what is the place? Strasbourg? Tell you what, excuse me, it'll be very interesting to wait and see what happens here. All right then, so let's talk about Nico Williams for a little bit. So Romano tweeted this. Chelsea's position on Nico. So firstly, actually, before I tell you this tweet, DiMarzio was reporting, not relentlessly, but a couple of times, that Chelsea are looking at Nico Williams now after Elise's gone to Bayern. And I think another Italian, I don't know why Italian, because he's a Spanish player, but DiMarzio was talking about it. There was another outlet as well saying Chelsea are going to trigger his release clause. But yeah, I think this is nonsense. And Romano followed up by saying this. Chelsea's position on Nico Williams has not changed. Appreciating him was he was on a short list already from last summer, but the current package is too expensive. Release clause is over 58 million euros. So 60 million euros, what's that? 54 million pounds, whatever. Plus taxes, with the main payment up front. I see, and that's massive for Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez cost us £105 million. We paid 30 million up front. And I think we structured that deal with Benfica in a way that they get money every year. Maybe over the course of his contract, so don't quote me for that. But yeah, 30 million up front. We sold Mason Mount for 55 million up front, 5 in add-ons. Do you know what I mean? Like, this kind of stuff. So for Chelsea, who like to structure their deals in such a way, they will see the most of the money up front is not a way of doing it. And of course, the requested wages are massive for Nico Williams. And yes, we might have got excited because he's a great left winger. We're looking at left wingers now. We've seen he can link up amazingly with Cucurella. And look, if we signed him like Elise, it would be exciting. But also, you just have to have like big boy conversations about this and look at the tangible facts. If again, more reports have come out about Elise since the Here We Go to Bayern Munich. His wage demands were just too high for Chelsea. It's fine. You can't pay him 4 times as much as Cole Palmer, who's performed like he has in the Premier League. And yes, Cole Palmer should and almost certainly will get a pay rise sooner rather than later. That's what The Athletic reported months ago, that Chelsea recognise if you come into the Chelsea team and do a Cole Palmer, you'll get more money. That's easy to do. It's easy to say that. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I do think incentive-based, performance-based contracts make better players. I hate to repeat myself, but I don't think Harry Kane becomes the player he is today if he didn't have those incentive-based bonuses in his Tottenham contract. It makes a player push themselves more. Even if it's just incrementally, it can make all the difference over the decade period you're at a club. So I do think it's important. And just to, sign a kid like Nico Williams, you've never been in the Premier League, you've never been in this particular setup, let's just give you 250k a week, mate. It's nonsense. So, yes, I get it. Obviously, old Chelsea would have done that, but old Chelsea were trending in a dangerous direction in terms of financial sustainability, especially with the new PSR rules. Like EA Sports, PSR. It's in the game. Yeah. So, Chelsea. What do we need? We're looking at striker, winger, left back, defender. The truth is, I was saying again on socials that we've got a good team, with everyone fit as well. Like, goalkeeper as well, of course, is another one worth talking about. But left backs, Chilwell, Cucurella. Right backs, Reece James, Malagusto. Centre backs, Tosin, who I think will start, by the way. Chalobah, for now, great player. Levi Colwill, Wesley Fofana, Benoit Badiashile, Axel Disasi. I think Gilchrist will go on loan. But between those multiple centre-backs, everyone will have pick 2 that is very, very elite. right? And then maybe the Monaco boys aren't getting picked first. But, you know, when settled aside, rotational backup, they still have quality. Abundance of good midfielder quality. Andre Santos looks like he's going to be part of the team as it stands. Of course, you've got Caicedo, Fernandes, Gallagher, Romeo Lavia, and, you know, I can't see, it'll be a shock to see Gallagher go, well, would it be a shock? But there's lots of quality there. And we've got a plethora and abundance of attackers on the right-hand side. I mean, you could even bring Gabriel back, Angelo Gabriel, who's a great player, but you've got Noni Madueke, you've got Cole Palmer, you've got Raheem Sterling, you've got Mudryk, you've got, you know, other players that can play out wide. Like, as it stands, Carney Chukwuemeka, of course, he might get a loan, but Nkunku can play out wide. And then you've got, like, you know, great cam options as well in Chukwuemeka, Nkunku, Cole Palmer, and Gallagher. Striking options. Yes, we're short for the moment, but Jackson, very, very good. Trending in the right direction. We haven't seen much of Nkunku play centre forward, but we know he can. We don't really need much, but the sporting directors think we need a bit more. So they're, you know, honestly, I still just think we need a goalkeeper more than anything else. That's just my opinion, though. Anyway, I wanted to make this video to talk about those stories and sort of end on that, you know, hopefully positive note and just have a lucid moment of a sobering moment of just actually, yeah, we got a good team. We just need some stability and no injuries. Let me know what you think. Thank you for supporting the content. As always, I do really appreciate it. And I do hope to see you back here soon at Football Therapy. On Football Therapy. All right. Peace.